Do you remember how old you were when you first lost your virginity? Early sexual health education should be important to you because everyone deserves to have proper access to knowledge about sexual health to keep themselves safe. Public schools should teach children about sexual activities, diseases, and health early on in their education. To illustrate this, we will go through the reasons why early education is important. Next, we will look at when sexual health education should be taught, and then we will visit how to convey this type of education. So let's begin by visiting why early education is important. By giving proper sexual health information early, kids and teens are more likely to choose, practice better, safe sexual health decisions more often. With no author or date listed on the article of average age to lose virginity by state, the CDC reports that the average age of losing one's virginity, referring to penetrative intercourse, is 17.3 years for women and 17 years for men, according to a 2011 to 2015 research data. Learning positive sexual health can lead to a better understanding of personal health for transitioning teens in years through adulthood, helping to keep them protected and aware of when to notice if they are being treated badly in personal relationships, whether that's with family, friends, mentors. Getting an early start, it helps provide them with the skills to detect if something is wrong. Also, learning about their bodies and helping understand what things are normal within the body and what things are not. In an article, The Importance of Access to Comprehensive Sex Education with No Date or Author Stated by the AAP, only 9% of high schoolers report using both a condom for STI prevention and some form of more effective birth control for pregnancy prevention. If children lack education or receive no access to any type of complete education on safe practices, it may be too late to exercise and understand when they are faced with these types of options through life. Now that we understand the importance of early education, let's determine an age appropriate time to begin this type of education. Sexual health education begins with basic and simple information that pertains to that individual child or teenager, with being checked into and further developed as age progresses. Pediatricians have begun recommending starting this education as early as 5 years old. Private parts in using the correct terminology for their parts is an important step in teaching children about sexual health education. Author Dana Noble posted in an article on the Mayo Clinic Press on April 14th of 2023 that research shows that average age of children are now exposed to pornography in 13 years, with some children being exposed by age 7. Digging deeper, 60% of 11 to 13-year-olds are exposed to adult content by accident, and 93% of males and 64% of females under 18 have purposely accessed pornography. As children get older, lessons about puberty, changes in the body, and others are important topics to touch base on early before it begins to happen. Early prevention to help prepare your child. Getting ahead of the social media curve is important in touching base for high school relationships that are soon to progress into more. Now let's begin by choosing for forms of proper education and how to teach your children. Most important is using medically accurate information, the knowledge and skills to teach all groups and abilities. Medical knowledge is important because it makes it more realistic for all individuals. Kids and teens are faced with many adversities each day, and not all kids are the same. Being open to all information of different orientations, sexual orientations, families, groups, religions is important, and knowing how to talk to kids and convey your message to them in a way that they're going to understand is a very important subject to have. Missing reliable sources and information at home may turn children to unknowledgeable sources on the internet, or even peer evaluations. Some kids do not go home to parents or guardians that are open and understanding and talking about these situations. So they reach out to sources that may not have correct information, may have them understand the wrong things or what things are actually right or normal for the human body and for other relationships. Now let's begin by choosing forms of proper education and how to talk to your children. Public schools should teach about children about sexual activities and diseases of health early on. Today, we learned what can happen if children are exposed to sexual health education early on, what type of information should be shared and when to begin, and lastly, how to properly speak with children to convey this type of education. On a personal note, something that has always stuck with me that has allowed me to want to advocate for early education and sexual health is I came from a very small rural school where many parents were not open and honest about sexual health education. And many girls that were in my school above or below me got themselves into situations that could have been completely prevented by having knowledge of how things work and understanding their body along with other people. Um, if their parents would have been more open and honest about it. My mother was a nurse, so I felt like I was very coursed in this type of information. My mother always told me that your virginity in your body is like a flower. It is something that will bloom when it's ready, and that the petals should not be touched or picked before you are ready to be bloomed.